All right, just got to first make sure that this is indeed going live. As soon as it does, I will start what could be an interesting podcast. So I think it's going live already. Yes, okay. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Chris, and this is my channel, Bar None 11970. Thank you, as always, for wanting to take the time to listen to what I have to say. And this is just the spur of the moment video that I'm making. I never planned these things. And I had probably either the most epic dream that I want to share with you guys while it's still fresh in my mind. Maybe it's a premonition, or maybe it was my brain working in the way it's supposed to. I don't know. But I do know that if you don't talk about or write down things right away, you tend to forget them. And the stuff that I had that I want to share with you is can just rethink the way you think. And I like that. So it all started in the dream where, if you saw the movie Batman v Superman that just came out recently, there's a scene in there that most people got confused about where Batman is supposedly dreaming, and then the Flash, it ends up it's the Flash, speaks to him and says, talks about what's going to happen in the future. In other words, Flash was speeding back in time to warn Bruce Wayne about something. And there were a whole bunch of theories I was seeing over the internet. And that was probably, I think, the last thing I saw before I went to bed last night. Was somebody was making a theory about the fact that the Flash was basically changing time and going to different dimensions. Now, that's where it started the dream. It started the dream where I was dreaming about the Flash sequence, and he was actually explaining it to me, where he wasn't changing time. He was just moving to a different part of time. And this is where it gets really specific, where I started just after that, it kind of set my brain in motion. The best way to think about time is everything is everywhere at every moment. There is no backwards in time. There is no forwards in time. And I'm going to explain it in a way that should make you understand. Now, a lot of people these days play video games. Now, if you have the latest video game system, you know that they place the game on a disc. Now, the disc is round. The disc needs to spin, and it needs a light source, aka a laser, for you to pick up the information on that disc. Now, let's say it's an open world game like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to do any brand product names. But on that disc is every single bit of information. When you hold it in your hand, it doesn't serve you a major purpose. You can't see anything in there. You can't utilize it. When you put it into your system, whatever that system is, it starts spinning. A light source activates it. And now all of a sudden, every single thing that you could possibly do is on that disc already. You're just experiencing by going from one part to another. Now, I want you to think about this, because these are things that popped in my head, and I wrote a couple of things down. What is that video disc made of? Well, it's made of information. It's made of codes. And the light source reads the codes as the code is spinning. Now, if you think about that with us, what about the fact that we supposedly are in a universe where our galaxy and everything is always constantly spinning? And we have light sources above us. Now, that may sound silly, but think about it for a second. What are our bodies made of? Our bodies are made of DNA, which is our what? Genetic what? Our genetic code. So we're made of codes. We're on something that's spinning. We have light sources to activate that code. Now, with a video game, think of it, and I'm using an example of an open world because it'll make you understand. You have the illusion of being able to go wherever you want, but you're limited to where the information can take you. In other words, the video game can't go past what is written on that disc. You can also be directed by emotion. Now, something that is non-physical can get you, who supposedly has free will, to move in specific places. Now, the biggest ones are hate, greed, fear, and the strongest of them all is love. So we have mainly negative emotions that can affect you, but the strongest is love. And I'll give you an example. If you are lying in bed and you make the decision, you know what, today I'm not getting out of bed, no matter what. Now, I could sit there and talk to you all day. It's like, oh, please come out of bed. I want you to go to bed. I can even order you to go out of bed. If you decide not to move, that's your free will. But I can use emotions against you and make you do exactly what I want. So, for example, with fear, what if I was to throw a lion in that room or a bear? You might sit there for a second, but you'll get scared and you'll run out of the room for your safety. What if I was to set the room on fire? Well, you're going to move. You could be stubborn for a while. Or if I say, okay, I'm going to shut the door, I'm going to fill the room with water. The door will be unlocked. You can leave at any time. Now, I didn't physically grab you and make you move. Your fear decided to do it for you. So let's try another emotion. Let's try greed, because a lot of people in this world are persuaded through currency or power, giving them things. What if I was to walk into the room where you're in and you say, I'm not getting out of bed, and I show you $5 million in cash, and I say, if you get out of bed, that $5 million is yours. Well, I didn't force you out of bed. You chose to do it on your own. See where I'm going? Love is the best, because what if I have the love of your life? Now, I'm not talking about somebody you just say you love. I mean somebody you feel the love. And say, if you don't get out of bed, I'm taking the person that you love. You're going to get out of bed really quick. So when you understand how situations work, you have the illusion of walking around freely, but yet you're directed wherever you go. And because of free will, you cannot be forced to do anything, but you can be subdued through fear. We see plenty of that. Hate works very well. You get somebody to hate you, they will probably do almost anything. Greed. People get paid lots of money to look the other way or to cause someone else pain. But the strongest one is love. I mean, just imagine if you're a parent, what you would not do for your children. You would even put your own life on the line to save a child that you love. So emotions can be used against you. And it's all about becoming aware of that. So as far as from this dream, and I don't know if this is reality, quote unquote, but if you think about it, we're all made of atoms. We're all made from light. We are made of DNA, which is a genetic code. We are supposedly in a situation where we are in either a planet or a galaxy or a disk or whatever you want to call it that spins. Because if, for example, if you go back to the video games, you can have a three-dimensional world off of even though the disk is three-dimensional, it's flat, it's round, it spins and uses a light source. But when you are able to read the code of that game, it portrays an image on a screen where you can manipulate that character. But like, for example, in that video game, I could place walls in certain directions to keep you from going in a certain direction. I could place large bodies of water so you can only swim out so far before you drown. You'll instantly go back. I could set enemies in your way to face adversity and give you rewards. But I can't make you play the game. Just like in life, they can give you plenty of money or plenty of opportunity for power if you do what somebody else says. You're being controlled in that way. You can have hate in your heart, and it makes you do things that a rational, normal person would not do. There are people that threaten me, that make fun of me, and do all these things because they, for some reason, hate me. And they use that emotion and don't realize they're being manipulated. They're manipulating themselves. But make no mistake, of all the emotions that we can experience, love is the most powerful. It trumps all. Because you could be full of hate. You can have plenty of money and greed. You could definitely be scared of something. But like I said, in that room, in the bedroom, if you refuse to get out of bed and I put a bear in there, you might be scared to death of that bear. But if all of a sudden your newborn baby was placed in there, I guarantee you, you will overcome that fear and you will protect that baby to the point where you might even die doing it. No money in the world would make you fight that bear if you knew it was to the death. I don't care how much you hate that bear. You're not going to do anything if you're there just in your pajamas and you have to fight it hand to hand. But love, if you did it for love, you might even win. So the strongest emotion created is love, true love. It can't be trumped by fear, greed, hate, jealousy, any of those emotions. It touches you and it connects people. Just go to a movie and watch that feeling in the room. If you're watching some love story where somebody just saved somebody they love and it's in an emotional moment, how you all connect with one another. Because you can't see it and because you're not told about it or speak about it, you don't realize that we are all connected in a way. It's why things like light can go through glass. Energy and light can go through anything because you are made of that. So I found it an interesting dream that if you think of life like that video game on that spinning disc, everything is there. It's just, where are you on that disc? What movement are you doing? What is your motivation at the time? Where is it pushing you? And the beautiful thing is, with any game, no matter how bad you're losing, no matter how scary it makes you feel, no matter what the motivation is, you can choose to turn off the game and walk away and not play it. You don't have to play the game, but many people choose to. And it's the emotions that affect you. And it's funny because emotions are nothing physical. You could make a person murder themselves or murder someone else just by stroking their ego or creating fear or giving them enough greed to do something to someone. But it's always a choice. And I think that's why I needed to have this spoken to right away, because it was just fresh on my mind. And it just really makes you have to rethink things. Well, you don't have to, but it ultimately comes down to choice. But never forget that love trumps all other emotions. So they'll scare the hell out of you. I've gotten threats. They'll try and bribe you. They'll try and distract you with all the pretty colors and the loud banging noises and the pretty little pictures. But ultimately, in the end, it's your game. You could play it, you could shut it off, and you could do whatever you want, but make no mistakes. I mean, like they say, when you're playing a video game, if you're headed towards the enemy, you're headed in the right direction. So hopefully this helps make people think a little bit on a deeper level. I know a lot of people, they don't want to know about this stuff. It's the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. There's a reason why they use 3 monkeys for that. And just like in The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy had the power to go home all along, And you have the power to do whatever you want, which is the right thing, the wrong thing, or nothing. What they've perfected is making you think you have no power. When it's your video game, you are the main character. You can, like any video game, like an open world game, you can become good, you can become evil, you can hurt others because it's fun or rewarding, or you can go and save the day. It's all about choice. But make no mistake, if you allow the emotions to control you, then a non-physical item can get you to do anything it wants. But once you're aware of that, it may make you rethink it. And if you understand that love is the ultimate winner, the ultimate trump card, the one that can defeat any other emotion, because yeah, you'll do a lot for hate, you'll do a lot for greed, you'll do a lot for fear, but for love, you might do everything. And the best part is love, all the others are all negative. Fear, greed, hate, lots of negative emotions, lots of ones that will affect you, that keep you grounded. But there's only one that will lift you. So if you choose to be hateful because it's fun, or it's profitable, entertaining, the only person in the long run you are hurting is yourself, because you're keeping yourself down. You're keeping yourself from ever learning you have the power to do anything. Again, it comes down to choice. So many people will scare you, will entertain you, distract you, make you feel full of hate. Congratulations, you allowed somebody else's situation to make your decisions in life. And considering some of the messages I got about a week and a half ago, it made me almost want to give in. And I won't get into that here, but I've chosen to not accept fear or not to be filled with hate. It's just to try and love as much as I can. It's not always easy, but it's my choice. And this dream to me really set things in motion. So I hope you'll watch this a couple of times. I hope it actually makes you rethink things and know that you have the choice to do anything, everything, or nothing. But while you choose to do nothing, while you choose to be filled with hate, while you might choose to be depressed, they will continue to feed you those negative aspects. That's why when you turn on the news, you don't feel happy after watching the news. You feel scared, you feel angry, you feel powerless. If you think that's accidental, then you're just fooling yourself. But you can always turn off the TV. So I'm not going to make this a long video. I had that information. I wanted to share it with people. What you do with it is totally up to you. If you want to dismiss it, that's fine. If you want to call it crazy, that's fine. If it resonates with you, that's even better. Do the right thing and do what it takes to make your life better. If you're in that video game, you could be the king of the castle if you choose to. Or you could be the most hated, feared person in the world. Which would you truly rather be if you had the choice? Feared, and I'm talking genuine fear, or loved, and I'm talking genuine love. I'm not talking about 5,000 fake friends you have on YouTube or Facebook, or 5 million subscribers, whatever, that just don't care about you. I'm talking about the 1 or 2 people in your life who you would kill and die for, or would kill and die for you. And that's why the power of one can outweigh the negativity of millions. Because think about it, and I'm going to leave you with this note. What do you think would affect you more? 5 million people you don't know and don't care about, who don't know you and don't care about you, all hating you? or one person that's in your life that loves you and will do anything for you, and you would do anything for them? Which do you think would leave a bigger impact? The 1 million that hate you, or the one that loves you? See how much the power of love will work wonders? Because you won't give a damn about those million that hate you. And that's why the people that hate me, I don't give a damn about them. But the ones that love me, and I'm talking about my family, my friends, the people who matter, those are the most important people in my life. Their opinions matter to me, not some person that wants to make a joke on the internet because they find it funny because it makes their life seem more fulfilled, or they got paid to do it. What a sad life and disappointed life they must lead. But again, it's their choice. And you could be one of those people, or you could be on a path where you're not happy. Like any video game, turn around, go in a different direction, try a different tactic, but choose to make a difference. Or stop complaining about what you choose to continue to do or not do, because that's what it boils down to. The world is training you to believe that you have no control and that everything is done for a reason. Where there's a reason why we're on a spinning disc, whether it's round, flat, regardless, doesn't matter. There's a reason why there's light and we're made of light. And we have the same code that could be written as a program. Maybe it's foreshadowing, maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's purely crazy, who knows? But it is interesting. And if you think so, pass this along, watch it as many times as you want, leave comments, like, whatever you want to do. But just look in the mirror and smile. And it's okay to. If you watch people in this world, go walk, especially if you live in the cities, wherever you are. Look at all the people with their serious, straight faces, their head down, hunched over, going to their next place that they don't really want to be. Where's the smiles? Where's the happiness? Where's the joy? You see a lot of boredom. You see a lot of hate. You see a lot of anxiety. To make a few people profitable. We don't have to do that anymore. I thank you guys and girls for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. I'd love to hear your opinions. And to all the people that have sent me the negative and the hateful messages, I thank you for trying to share your life onto me, but I don't accept it because my life is my life, and I will do what I need to do. And I hope you will rethink your life so it could be better, so you can fly. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.